no obi nso wɔ no mu a ne deɛ no ɔdwonso a na mogya ɛnam ne dwonso ba hwe ya ɔbɛkasa bi a gonorrhea na ase bi a sexually transmitted diseases bi ɛna wenya obi wɔ no mu a wonya wadin sɛ wopɛ sɛ wosote enso wosote ana ɛte lambago etimi de saa ɔhaw no ɛba ɛsan sɛ ebi ana yɛbi obi a yɛfrɛ no spine tumor saa spine tumor no etimi enyini ɛwɔ ɔyɛ wɔkyi brɛmo anaasɛ wɔkyi kasɛe no mu ɛma ɛno no etimi didi mu a ɛma anhwɛ a bɛduru baabi no nanteɛ kora ɛho bɛyɛ ɔden ɛno na ma ɛnɛ nipa bebree no a obi wɔ hɔ no mu a sɛ ɔda yɛ a ɛde n'akyi ato hɔ no yɛ ana ɛyɛ problem ɛde ma no akwanhyia tumi de ba lɔre akwanhyia obi wɔ no nso a ɔfudua obi wɔ no a ɔyɛ carpenter ne ɔyɛ mason ɛna ofi ɛdan so abɛhwe fam de n'akyi kasɛe brɛmo abɛhwe hɔ a ne nyinaa nso etimi ama wonya saa ɔha no na yɛnhwɛ adeɛ kakra ɛwɔ ha no sɛ yɛhwɛ mfoni a wotimi ho sɛdeɛ onipa no waso ne sisi yi anaasɛ waso ne kyibrɛmo ɛkɔ ne sisi mu hɔ no kyerɛ wo sɛ wanya haw sonko bi ɛwɔ ne ha sɛdeɛ mede kan ka kyerɛ no ebetumi ayɛ ka akwanhyia anaasɛ bia ebetumi ayɛ sɛ wofiri soro ɛna wode w'akyi kasɛ na bɛbɔ hɔ anaasɛ ebia na wo nso wode ne kɛseyɔ bebrebe ɛnso etumi ɛde ba ɛnɛma ho dɔ bebree enyini sɛ ɔdasani onyia duru baabi a na sɛ ɛni adwuma na woyɛ no ɛyɛ adwumaten obi wɔ hɔ no mu a na ɔyɛ obi a na yɛnua mɛma yɛ ɔmo tam mama nadeɛ so obi wɔ hɔ no nso a ɔyɛ obi a wɔno no ɔkɔdwam ɛsoasoa nneɛma obi wɔ hɔ no mu a n'adwuma a wɔyɛ no ɛyɛ adwumaten ɔkoto no wasɔre wobɛnya duru baabi no wotumi nya ɛyɛ lambago anaasɛ bi a ɛyɛ back pain a yɛka ho asɛm yi obi wɔ hɔ no mu a ne deɛ ne tumi firi ne kɔn akyi sɛdeɛ mede kan ka kyerɛ no ɛfiri ne kɔn akyi a sare ɛkɔ ne sisi mu hɔ ɛno nyinaa no ɛkyerɛ wo sɛ lambago ɛna wanya no enti ama ɛnɛ yi no kane nanka wotumi gyina hɔ yɛ adwuma sɛdeɛ mede kan ka ɛnɛ wontumi nyina hɔ a ɛnyɛ adwuma bi mu a bɔmmɔden sɛ wode bɛba na Helios Care Center yɛahwɛ na yɛyi afiri wo so etimi ma bɛrima kora sɛ sei wodwuma woyɛ wɔ mpam anaasɛ wagodie wɔ mpam etimi ba fam etimi ma ɔbaa nya biribi a yɛfrɛ no hormonal imbalance etimi ma ɔbaa kora wawo ho kora timi yɛ wo den enti lambago ɛwɔ wo so a abra wo tin ka sɛ wɔkyi brɛmo yɛ wo ya afiri kwan akyi akɔpem sisi mu ɛta yɛ wo ya ɔmɔden tu anano na fa ne nyina brɛ na Helios Care Center yɛhwɛ na yɛnyi mfiri wo so
Misasu wa kwara makwaji aboafo ankrato de abadia na emna se ose ye bo enkomo na nneoma eko eje enche mene one of historians no ebe din komo ofo so but before then amenko na mene Alhaji Ibad Ibrahim emmo enkomo na afi yenhwe ye security aspect ni ade na eye se de ebe ya mene obi na ye bambo ho ebe hia because bambo ho hia pa na wanya dia ya na ha adwen what they say about internet or international relations and security analyst internet about international ceremony adia ebe ndebere person mutu kwan you don't know the also ye mu bebre mama aye this travel and tour agencies bebre I am fakadam ajemusika ni ade ebe wi asen enko ba bia Alhaji Ibad Ibrahim e wa hase ma me kwara mane akwaba openi
Nana,
welcome.
Me power paso. One a very vibrant and young team. Juma. And Oka MPP Special Delegates Conference. I coso. Ejuma ye MPP Nipa Adrian say NDC wa be moi. Bambo and Honsensem Okasa na ebi anhyehyɛ o proposing no ene aban de
ebe bra
there be
this the same
the same
that's only o party
so we NDC ni MPP funds soba na or contribute to your quota to how we can shape up your policy on security, diplomacy, and international relations. Say we are MPP ni. Into MPP 4 AM now for 4, just like some of the friends I have within the NDC. And we wish them the very best. We want a party no more choka kakrabim in terms of the strategy. I also used to say we choose to their next flag bearer. Yet top down approach. This is the BN down approach. Wakampo in your preamble say cotton sense BBC PM and then you kick home. Enti akonya toa ebusuafo obi atime pre. Enti the era of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has come to an end. And Nana Addo dominated the party for a long time. And then they had Aurelie Musa no nebitimi Ajitumi at the amount. And then lo and behold in 2016 Otumiji Tumi no amount. The mobetimi aye within film or tria Omogaveni as a party Omoye Sinto a woman Ghanaians are there to judge. Nyomoye and Peppers pen so Ghanaians are there to judge. Inti I say ohini niho ye choose nipa foforo. Inti by all means a prepare ebeba kakra. Inti meka say we don't want a situation and now China nebeko so Legon Stadium no basa BBC bibia ebusuya ko baako omonye bibia kama fefefe. And then the idea say party security should play a role, and then the police should also play a role. On the back of Ablekumanov, we don't want Ntawantawe Bia.
But say do you think say the party security can do a yeoman's job and a day dispenser? I want to say send can what the kaka Ntawantawa ni ade and this party security it has been divided. Some camp of Kennedy, ebi Baumia, ebi call by Champon, ebi call Kwamna Japan engineer, any Omoma Kaniade. The party security as a whole, can they put favoritism aside and come as a body, one embodiment to fight and then defend the party in this era?
I think Mujamono ne Mebuno Amona Ikura party bia. And this or more the MPP funds or more even though and the Anti-Vigilantism Act about explaining what the remits and the limits are obit me ako as party bebuno untumi fight to abobani ne kika all in the name of say me protect the party ne oye no say ne o mining hihye on security boy bra o mining ne o ebedinu nyonyo no. But you can't take away the fact that every political party has got a youth wing. And bibia emebuno eka ho no. Omo Kenya say no mutumi Kenya omo ho keka no. That's why yeshejama. Black Stars bebobola ye pemebuno amubetimi boost morale. Enti party be ye nkokrafo nko ana lawyer fo nko ana lecturers fo nko it is within the right of every political party to have a youth wing. But how are over to Nema to describe what your youth wing will determine whether say a lawful or unlawful. To an extent that in the past we had efforts were made to get mercenaries from outside Ghana to come and train party youth. I know the make say and train, but say more baby na youth natural say. Oh, say nipa okoye boti bebrea. Vem no wofom. Enti party ejuma no ene ahonkeka na eko. But all that we are saying is that party leadership, whether MPP or NDC, should be able to regulate that energy.
But from the youth coming.
Party no more. Enti ehu bi ohwe Osu Castle. As I said, any parties menuni na edi enkita. At some point you go Osu Castle, you saw a lot of youth there. To say veteran journalists be Nejuma, and then the title of the the piece he did, and then the repercussions. And those were the boys who worked day and night to bring the party to power.
Yes.
So from the very moment from Osu Castle, and the other people we can mention in name, I'm doing say omo a sacrifice the ma omo party ni buy party no eyi omo ama. In the sense of Blekumanov, otin sense oh yene soldiers no yene forces no me pese me body na mpemfo no de ensa esi form. Inti yehwe omo say no omo be say ye den.
Oh yes. So some of them even though that Delta Force and on hold me to me aka one now to me kwabro cheni ade I've been on the social media inciting say shina ye she no party for creation yembo more than that because the pay the okay adwuma mu na aba no ba power no oyiemu ma ye any ade so
inti two things that will help our security. One, energy a party youth ban party paying for and regulate energy.
Everything can be
regulated. Morale at rallies, party conferences, party events. Sometimes some of the way they welcome their leaders. When you say nipa pe energy. Bibia energy womu bia nipa epese oye a part of it and it's contagious. Entina ebusuemu bibiba na ebusuapen oye lem bibrea but okasa yebetimi aye otebase saviem no it's good for mobilization. Until we can't take that away from political parties, so they should be able to regulate that energy, that abundance of energy. Ne toso mi o party edim cho and kunima, that energy does not have to be left there because mudim choa one share mobetimi aye basa mudim kunim so more expectations, so to an extent mobetimi aye appointment na party maybe na ka say ne way
yes
we've seen instances in offices
yes
so it's a problem. You see, problems ni bi wo they are security challenges. But what did the problem now? You can use it for the benefit of the Republic of Ghana. And I can't say, sir, party youth should not be a part of some of the activities that need morale boosting in the. But I think looking at what will happen at Legon Stadium, whether one faction or another, at the end of the day, but my challenge is that what communication has gone on between party youth and the police. Because Blekumanov, the allegation was that while party leaders were under attack, a police force did not take the right action. But I'm saying no. And the top hierarchy of the police said the statement by Abontin say or more investigating their course, and anybody who needs to be arrested and put before a court of competent jurisdiction. So let's continue to build confidence in state security, build confidence in the police, so that all political parties, whether or more abemo and now more opposition, more being side in national state security.
All right, so to build up on your case about Blekumanov, Ghana Police at the press release by Abontin, and it says police acts on a Blekumanov elections assault. The Accra Regional Police Command wishes to update the public in relation to violent incident and assault recorded during the Blekumanov parliamentary run held on Friday, 11 July 2025. The police have reviewed and analyzed several videos that captured the incident at the police stations to identify all persons involved. The command has progressed to obtain statements from complainants and witnesses to aid in the ongoing investigation. The police have also gathered vital leads and wish to assure the public that arrests will be effected soon. Meanwhile, the victims involved in the incident have been issued with police medical report forms. Fifth line, in line with due process, the police officer captured in one of the videos assaulting a journalist who was interdicted have been held for criminal charges of assault. The Accra Regional Police Command reiterates its commitment to ensuring that all persons responsible for the act of violence, intimidations, or misconduct during the elections will be held accountable under the law. We encourage the public to cooperate with the police and share any credible information by contacting the numbers in here. So they know say the top hierarchy they are some only the information about say they are working on a black man off.
But Nana, the fear is this: if today and tomorrow, Oko conference, now who said the police are on the periphery, to an extent, say Yamin Pengu, if party youth begin to hoot at the police, say away and now who and I in here more, then I believe that between now and 2028, there will be a lot of hardline positions that will be taken by the opposition party. So therefore, Akwetia is still awaiting us. Maybe in 60 days since the demise of Honorable Ernest Komi, you better to Nema yes and a by-election because of Akwetia. But don't allow yourself as state security for the parties in opposition to lose confidence in you. One year that provides room for hardline voices within the party. Say, let's go back to our Azoka boys. Let's go back to our Delta forces. Let's go back to Bulldogs. Some of these groups are Yatutu Omudin over the years. And now your party bebunwa. Whether your bodyguard the ma honorable and IBB, or your bodyguard no. Now uko school we chiri
to support your security.
Now uko school kakra weekend na obetimi and evening classes na obeti send ye beya osono no tofom na ye twitwanam no cha
also
benya bi. Because the issue is that anybody will be complaining say ebia mi ye juma ma NDC as bebunu and mi ye juma ma MPP as bebunu me de menkwa eto ana eto ho de ma party now so mo bae no omo de mi esi nchen obabisa o SHS certificate wa here because manko o university degree wa here because manko enti I believe that Odi wakuma at the party as bebunwa. Make sure say your academic credentials on so because in the United States, for example, more Secret Service. You know, recently there was an attempt on the life of Donald Trump or your campaign to become the president the second time, and then the head of the Secret Service was sacked. Or the Nejuma Isiho. So it means that you. And yet, he be interested in security, and things are beginning to change. And some years ago, before you joined any security agency, because a body inspection, you because I was say, oh yeah, tintin gram, or height it is oh nanade, and I say wa betty eti say, but today it's about agility, it's about smartness, it's about reflexes. And to be kukuru say. But he's a top ranking general and he can perform on the ground. So security goes with intelligence and brilliance. And to me, say, me don't party, but I want to present to the party the youthful exuberance I have. We only have to make in Shishaye so that we can regulate that. Or no, so the amani party no go school kakra. Send by oba with me than the national security coordinator, and I've always advocated say public administrators or be accountant why in a national security coordinator or be a businessman why a national security coordinator. There should come a point where people who are predisposed to security become our top security heads. So therefore, it is important that we advise the youth say, "Oh we know na uko school kakra." Eventually, when your party comes to power, whether NDC and MPP, or mobenya baby they want to anashe.
Now, but now all can't be, but I'm we also, security service and making sure say the oppositions will always have a belief or trust in them. Say the voice around the now the question is. If right now, if the opposition are crying, okay, the government also important because the time we're in opposition, it was the same security that you people are applauding that they are doing their job. So how come saying you being in opposition, you are crying while we also are praising them, say they are on top of their issues?
Nana, why you may give or take a decade. About a decade. It means you've seen 2 governments at least. I remember one day at the Cabre AME interview before 2016 election. At that time, the MPP had concerns about the police officers that had been given to Nana Addo and Bawumia at that time, the presidential and vice presidential candidates at that time. So I believe that when His Excellency John Mahama and then Professor Nana Jane also were in opposition, state security state security detail they also could have had cause, or they had every legitimate right to raise concerns. And the fear is that we're a presidential candidate, you are a property of the state. Political parties are independent or private entities. And now you're a political party and you control an Itriaoka.
Yes.
Because a form of voluntarism, then the state can take care of you. But the state has a responsibility because of the security concerns we have, sir. Senanaka said, Ojina on the ticket of a certain party to be president, your security becomes state security. Until all the presidential candidates are duly cleared by the EC, the state offers you 2 or 3 or 4 police officers. So I'm unsure also. But the fear is that, say, a buying this police in a mamia. What guarantee do I have, say, on your spy?
On my side.
On your beer, baby, I'm a committee, I'm a feedback. Because me, dear, would mean the destruction of the party in power.
Exactly.
Because near me and it's a military party.
Yes.
So that lack of trust and confidence is what I think we need to work on. And no name my political party say say o mind me police for be 2 or 3 mpoa. Me o baby am no mo work.
Okay.
And the other times I can say mo de mo pon metime akofi. But certain sensitive meetings are a far party no ne strategies and e be conduct your own in the elect. Na my party boys say me ko ha munko jam. And gradually no be can say nipa no be can say, oh, I want close body protection training. Into be trying say the party maybe 2 or 3 be akọ South Africa.
Ako training
omo. And say, oh, I will say me kita bibi. Na ma o e be a baton. After some time, ni akọ e there, I will say o side arm. So gradually that lack of confidence in state security because of partisan distrust is creating a vacuum for political parties in opposition to want to train their party youth, and sometimes they are not able to control the youth. So those are my concerns, but I believe Nebeko Sowolegon for the MPP special delegates, the police can play their role. Party youth can also conduct themselves very well, so that between now and 2028 there will be that serenity, that stability, that confidence in our security system.
All right. Abusamini Alhaji Ibad Ibrahim no Buswani Yabon Common Makachel and security tips within the urban and rural environment, and home como any dunia eti the answer you be share near baby bia be see atona kama answer me my question me remember this angle akra emame. Now recently almost about 500 and above newly recruited security personnel have been sacked to go home. Say a protocol list and I buy right after 7 December and all year first recruitment which is against. But to me, I say a trouble we are buying on call still year Juma till since January. I didn't match 7 of the hand you over. They are gone. They are palm for better further investigation. They are then so. After so, there's still this protocol enrollment in our security sector. Alaj, about Nindiema or shut that tangent now. Don't they say political inclinations into our security aspect? And man, the trust, the belief, the integrity, and the hope, the citizens have in our security, are diminishing now.
Okay, joining police. Nana joining police say oh or mine do any opepa so be some or my Ghana and yeah community.
That was the first thing I was out doing. Over some on mine and who do, but a community. Fantastic. I don't know, sir.
Because people are joining the police because
unemployment.
Because of unemployment.
That's a only joining.
So that affects the quality of people you recruit. And criminal syndicates so bit me a pushy or more shiwi or more drugs. Then they
now pushing.
And recently you see reports of security personnel participating in crime.
Yes.
Enti am I on phone boy? Job for the boys no. Yeah, among son so kakra.
Do you think say it's hard job for the boys rather should be outside the jurisdiction of insecurity? Other places where I'm not go. But when it comes to the integrity of the security, young father say you can why not doing say on mine who do paper. The person is ready to die for the country in terms of anything. Anybody now than say job for sending out a job because majority of this security personnel job for the boys and often we are
that's true.
So
the issue is this. Timemufo problem no mufra police ni no or you be a washer uniform no ready to die or not.
That is a deep question.
Yes, so yate abakosem no Dr. Kwame Nkrumah for nipa, but they were ready to die for the state, sadly for the guards. Say bullets and the man. And me were Madam for former MP be didn't come. Also driving home, and I'm say adan. I say it's better so we kuni home than so we will kuno.
So former MP.
When an appointee, a politician is in trouble, are you sure say sir police near or friend home bodyguard, he will take a bullet for you? So these are questions we need to ask. And I believe that the onus lies on the politicians. Let me say Interior Minister Eba Abonten earlier this week to give reasons yepami ebi year overaged, being qualified in a kika hono. And like it's the right thing to do. The interpretation. Because next time Obin Soba or so be you yardstick.
Yes. Because they went through the due process. I didn't say tough form CBA or check up. Before then, you check your height, and you go for exams or pass as an medical. So it's the Interior Minister telling me say all these things were not properly made. Anyway, we call training for about 3-6 months.
To be fair to the Interior Minister, or my example of a political friend, a colleague, or they obi sa dentina obi ebia, yes, SS numpo 1 3 exams. And don't underestimate the influence of order from above.
Okay.
You see, there are 2 layers. There are technocrats who should run our state security. And on top of that layer are the appointing authority who are politicians. More than one occasion in class, whether with our police trainees or soldiers, they tell us that, a man there that to meet you be or doing say wait there or say I'm running it.
There's order from above.
Vetina order from above. But so obi our some party day and night. Abani party ababem. Ne wa poto amane fi no on chini say odi. Into omodwen say one abo wa be there famisha baby. One abo wa be there say ni say. And there are 2 ways to sort out party people. Obi wa ho a ompese obeye adwuma. Hello nana who office buy chat is no konebe.
Yes, it's true.
Obedience 1 month is slow. Senior and now obey adwuma when very young and vibrant people maybe some mo baby amote. Ono be so ran up to about 30 days no ompel. Chat is na. Into obi anene ope. And obiara nso ne botaya okodom eku. And the politicians should be able to read, the